That's Blondie right here on Max 98.3, 8:38 in the morning. It's 66 degrees outside. Happy Hump Day, everybody, on a June 12th. Live from our Auto Park studios here in downtown Plymouth. That's Marco. I'm the boss, Tony Ross. Great to be with you. Had a wonderful time yesterday at the Bremen Festival.
Fireman's Festival.
Gave away tons of candy.
A lot of candy.
You were able to put a few kids in a coma with your tosses.
Well, in a sugar coma at least, because kids didn't just get one little piece of candy. They got a handful thrown at them.
Yeah, we doled out the candy yesterday.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, and I thought when you kept opening those bags of candy, I was like, Tony, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's way too much. We need to have a practice run of throwing candy. We do not know what we're doing because
time out. No, don't you dare accuse me of not knowing how to throw the candy.
At the end of the
Don't you dare.
At the end of the parade, I was throwing out the owner's manual to that Ford that Oliver Ford gave us because I had nothing else to throw out. If those things would have had a cigarette lighter, someone would have got one. Because I had nothing to throw out. I gave my socks. I threw my socks out.
Yeah, that
one poor elderly lady got my underwear. I'm sorry about that. But I know the ambulance was there quickly because they were in the parade route, so she's going to be just fine.
Timing's everything.
Yeah. She's going to be just fine.
I mean, when you threw the underwear,
EMTs were too.
It blanketed her entire head.
Well, it covered her car. But the EMTs were two behind us, so they did CPR, and she's going to be just fine.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had our fair share of candy. We had Texas Roadhouse in front of us, which, by the way, they offered us a free dinner. Yeah. And so that was very nice of Marissa.
Mm-hmm. Marissa, who's in charge of marketing for the region here for Texas Roadhouse, and they were handing out like suckers that said free kids meal coupon, and then they were handing out their world famous peanuts. Whenever you go to Texas Roadhouse, you get the peanuts and throw the shells on the floor and so forth.
Yep.
And they were handing out peanuts, so that was good. Yeah. And but we got to figure stuff out. We don't have the parade thing down to an art yet, and that's sad because for me, I'm in my second year of doing the parade for Max 98.3, and I figured that I would be better. And listen, I'm nowhere close to being to where I want to be as far as my parade expertise and my parade status. I'm just that fat kid that just wants candy, and I just want to. When I look at those kids, I'm just thinking, boy, you look thin and healthy. So here, take all this sugar on a stick and suck it down, like yours truly did.
You did. I mean, you.
I know. I went.
Patricia was in our one parade, I think last year in Bremen.
She was in a couple, yeah.
Well, all of them actually.
Yeah.
And she would have been impressed with Mark's pace. Pace was great.
Well,
the problem was it was two hands out the window and a free for all.
Here's the problem.
By 10 kids.
We were 44th. We were 44th in line in the parade, and first off, that's a problem because there was a lot of downtime when the cannons went off for the parade to start. We sat there at least half hour, 40 minutes before we even moved after the cannons went, and so I was getting a little antsy, And then when you start, there's you're leaving the school and there's no one on that until you get almost to Main Street. There's no one to throw candy to, so I'm jittery. I'm like, come on, I have all this candy at my feet and right beside me. What am I supposed to do? And I was going to just throw it at, like, there was a dog. I was going to throw some at a dog. This one guy was standing there, and he looked grumpy, and we asked him if he wanted a sucker, and he said no, and I still was about ready to chuck one at him. So I just got all this built up tension for throwing candy, and then when I saw the first group of kids.
You're like a kid.
It was like a fertilizer spreader on a cornfield. I mean, stuff was flying everywhere.
Good God.
I know. And then I started going over the top of the truck to your side.
Yeah, because I ran out.
I was doing like hook shots.
Yeah.
I felt like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at one point in time with my hook shot that I was throwing across the top of the truck to the other side.
You did well. You did well doing that. But it was fun. It was. I mean, I tell you, it was packed, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
That's the longest line that I can remember.
It was a
Freeman's Fireman's Festival ever having for a parade.
Yeah, and
ever.
And again, as I call it, what I call ourselves, our Bremenites, I guess, come out in droves. I mean, they were all out there. The parade route was packed full,
all the way back, all the way to Sunnyside Park.
Yes, it was
I've
just
never
packed.
seen that.
No, you didn't. You haven't seen that, but.
No. I never seen
So
that.
I just got to figure out the candy throwing stuff. I know we have more parades this year, and I got to figure it out. And then I think we got to kind of fine tune our candy. I personally, on the candy, like the Smarties. It's an easier throw. I'm not going to impale somebody's eye with a stick like we did with those suckers, because a couple of those, when it's raining down and they're looking up for the candy, you know.
I was going for variety.
I know you were, and I appreciate that.
It ended up being, we got a lot for our money.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of, but I just went crazy a little bit. I just went.
Yeah, you did.
I got fat. I went into fat guy mode, and then just started. I thought if we gave every kid on that parade route one piece of candy, we'd have had tons left over. Mm-hmm. No.
You didn't. No.
I felt every kid should have 6 or 7 pieces of candy, and that's how I threw it out there.
It was. You were shoveling. You were throwing. You were shoveling.
I don't know what happened to me. I lost track of myself.
You got so good that you made the kids and some adults on the parade route say,
"Make it rain." Yep.
And the only way they were going to get candy is if
they had to yell, "Make it rain!" And when they did it, I threw it up in the air, and it came down landing like a butterfly with sore feet.
It was, I don't know if it's sore feet. I mean, it was.
I mean,
it was.
I
good.
was launching.
You got into a rhythm. That was the good part.
Yeah.
The problem is you poked a few eyes, but that's
there's gonna be injuries, but you know, make sure the juice is worth the squeeze. I always say. So that's
okay.
So that's the way I say it. That's the way it's going to be.
The juice is worth a squeeze.
Make sure the juice is worth the squeeze, and for those kids, the juice was worth the squeeze.
Yeah, it was impressive.
We're either going to have to double our amount of candy and continue doing what we're doing, or I'm going to have to figure something out. I'm going to have to show some self-control. And I got to be honest with you, I did not even have, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you ran out because you ate it all, fatty." No. The deal is I didn't have one piece of candy. Not one.
No. I had one.
You had more than one.
I had one.
No, you had more than one. You had more than one. You had suckers. There were multiple times you had those suckers in your mouth that didn't last you the whole parade out. So you saying one is a lie. First off, that's a lie on air.
I ate one.
No. You had multiple. You had multiple.
What are you talking about?
I think you had multiple. I think if we go back and look at the tape, you had multiple.
How do you know? Anyways, you didn't even pay attention. You were shoveling candy out the window.
I know what's going on in my surroundings. I think you threw a couple down you, and that's fine.
I had one.
You know, you were. I didn't want your blood sugar to get low for driving. And then I
don't ever recall having a peach sucker before.
I just think we lost track and we got behind. Now, I'm going to give you credit. And I know you're saying Andy Armadillo, but Andy,
he was cutting in front of us.
Well, you listen. You bump him a little bit, and Andy Armadillo is going to maybe move that tail feather a little bit better.
Well, armadillos don't have tail feathers.
Oh, he had some kind of tail. I can guarantee you that. And but the thing again, my whole thing this year. And forget about the candy, forget about the spacing issue. We'll have to deal with the spacing issue on the next parade. I just wanted you to stay on the route. I wanted you to stay on the parade route, and you did it.
I did.
We did not have to go down a dark alley and throw candy at a gentleman taking out his garbage cans this year. We stayed on the parade route.
Good job, Tone.
Everything was good.
I'm going to applaud myself because I'm the only one who's going to do it. So, yeah. I had the parade route was down. It was you're just like JoJo,
the Indian boy.
Yeah, you just get so worked up.
I wanted to throw some candy, and it just. I don't have a lot of patience, and I will. And when we're stuck in the parking lot, and then the first 15 minutes of the parade route, there's not even a person to throw candy at. I get antsy. So,
well, mission accomplished. Still, nonetheless.
Yes, a lot of candy was flung.
Yeah, and I probably need to apologize a little bit because I didn't know what was going on. But we made our final turn. Your wife and your grandkids were all there.
Yeah,
she came up to give you a kiss, but I didn't even notice it until I turned the very last minute, or last second. And I'm still moving. And I wanted to stop. I meant to stop, but it was... No, and so she gave you like a flyby smooch.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's because again...
Pawpaw. There you go.
Pawpaw. Yeah, Pawpaw. They were excited to see Pawpaw. As a matter of fact, I asked my granddaughter, what was your favorite float? Pawpaw is what she told me. Driving in a truck, riding in a truck, Pawpaw was her favorite. But it's also because I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna tell my secret. I made them a special candy thing for my wife, my daughter and son-in-law, and my grandkids.
Yeah, really.
And they got a baggie full of stuff, and so. And
I'm sure your son was very happy that his kids just literally was going into
a
diabetic
they were
coma.
Sugared up, boy. They were ready to.
I bet they rode every ride after the parade.
My granddaughter rode everyone she was able to ride, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I know. No, I'm not going to get into it. All I know is I think we spent a total of $60 to $80 on ride tickets, and there weren't that many rides ridden. When the little kids ride, a lot of the little kid rides, the parent needs to go with them, and everyone needs a ticket. So,
Oh, you didn't go on any rides?
I didn't go on any rides because I think there's a weight requirement that I didn't. You've seen those videos where the carnival rides start tilting forward and stuff like that to get off their wheelbase. That's because of jumbos like me trying to ride them. So I stood on the sidelines and watched, but they do a great job out there at the Bremen Fireman's Festival.
Do. And of course, they got the best of the best when it comes to the carnival rides and lures.
And you know what? And even the guys doing they have the games. They had these games where you shoot the baskets and stuff. Well, they had a little one for kids, and so we paid to have my grandson, who's 2, try to shoot at the little kids hoop. And when he shot it up there, the guy grabbed the ball off the rim and dunked it in, and still gave him a prize.
Nice. Yeah, so that's how you do it.
So every game my kids or my grandkids played, they left with a prize, and so
good.
Very professional, and they they're very. You get to some of these festivals and stuff, some of the people doing the stuff look a little shady. You're like, these all dressed nice, and they're sure and very professional looking.
That says a lot, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It says a lot.
Oh,
was that a piece of candy?
I don't know what it was.
We heard a lot of that in the vehicle last night.
At one time, I got rejected by the side view mirror when I went to throw out. Felt like Lambier just taking my shot away. So we're going to work on that. So I don't know what our next parade is. I know we have parades like down in Argus.
We're doing the August Summerfest
and stuff like that. I'm going to get better at my candy throwing. Okay. That I can promise you. That is my promise to the public and to the parade goers.
Coming up next, it's going to be Woodlawn Hospital, Woodlawn Health, and they got a lot to talk about. But we're going to talk about the subject of smoking.
Smoking. And we're not talking about smoking meat.
Nope. We're talking about
smoking
the bad health
cigarettes.
And Patricia will be eagerly paying attention to this one, I think.
Thanks for putting me out on that one.
I'm throwing you under the bus because I want you to stop. I'm throwing you under the bus. We love you too much. So that's coming up next, and then we got the Rocky football auction at the bottom of the hour.
Rocky football.
Yes. So the auction's coming down. It's matter of fact, it stops tomorrow, and we'll talk about the updates. And once again, coming down the home stretch of what's going to be a very busy couple of days for the auction. Marco.
Yeah.
You know what to
do. Are right now. We are out. So see you.